The shell supports a special kind of resource called environment variables. Those variables are just a name, value pair. The name can start with a letter and be composed of letters, numbers, and underscores. Variable values have only one type: character strings. Names and values are case sensitive. And as we'll see, variables can be global and local, just like in common programming languages. To get the value of variable on the shell, precede the variable name with a $sign. If the variable is not set, an empty string is returned. The assignment operator is used to set the value of variable in the case of Bourne-like shells. Or built-in set operator in case of C-like shells. You can check your settings by calling the echo command, which simply sends its own arguments to stdout. The set command with no arguments lists the values of all variables set in the environment. Shell commands can be combined into command files called scripts, where the first line in a special kind of command specifies the shell to execute this script. For example, let's create a file called test in a text editor or just by command cat with the following content. This program will print the text message test and the value of test variable. If this one specified to standard output, you can run it from the command line by passing the name of script as the parameter to the command interpreter. Okay, we can see the text message, but we didn't see the value of variable. But why? Because we started a new shell process to run the script. And we have not set this variable in the context of this new shell. Let's do it. Okay, let's expand our definition to the environment space of all processes started from our current shell. And as we can see, the value of the variable in our current shell has also changed. The export operation is the globalization of our variable. You can get the settings for such global exported variables for a session by calling the interpreter built-in command env. In case of Porn shell-like interpreters, shell, Corn shell, Bash, Z shell, PDK shell, and printf in the case of C shell style, C shell, TC shell, etc. This is our first example of using the command pipeline machinery. We just look at only the test variable in the full set. Variables can be local to a given process or global to a session. You can set local values for variables by preceding the definition of variable before command calls. But as we can see, our global settings are the same. We can remove the settings of variable using the unset command. As we can see, this variable has also been removed from the list of global environment variables. And there is no unexport command, just only unset command. Finally, as with traditional programming languages, we can use shell scripts such as libraries that can be run from an interactive shell session or from another shell script to set variables or functions for top-level processes. Let's try to write another script in which we simply set the test variable. But for our first script, this variable is still invisible. Why? Just because it is not exported. Let's export. And run our test script again. As we can see, in our main shell session, the variable has changed too.